Good morning, everyone. This is my watch list for Thursday, July 23rd. All right, so what happened yesterday? Remember, Brett and I talked about us still being in supply and that the market was likely going to reject this supply, how this is just one big bear flag. We talked about this in the pre-market, and that's what happened. I even said, be careful longing over 749 because we have 750 right there, which is a psychological whole number. And look what happened. We went right to 750 and found that now market's gapping down, okay? However, it's gapping down still in the same range, okay? Where would I be interested in shorts? I actually like this 744 level now because this was previous day low, Tuesday low, pre-market low, right? 744 now looks like a good entry point for shorts, at least back into 741, right? I think we'll get at least a $3 or $4 move if we get below 744 today, right? This could be the break of structure. This could be the break of the flag if that happens, okay? But it did exactly what we said, okay? We've just failed supply. That's it. QQQ, same thing, right? 710. This is supply from Tuesday, supply from Wednesday, yesterday. We failed that same supply. Now, I would say if we lose 700, which is pre-market low, previous day pre-market low, then we can sell back down into like 694, okay? 694 was the pivot back here from Monday. If we lose 700, this is going to break that bear flag, right? Everything is just bear flagging right now. Apple, I like this long before, right? We took this long on Tuesday. It ripped, right? You could have longed it on Monday as well. It ripped. Yesterday, it bounced off the same demand, 323. However, it's looking weak now, right? So if we lose this demand, this 323, this turns into a sell side trade, and I'll be watching shorts on Apple. AMD, one of the strongest names out there. Chips are strong, okay? If we reclaim 560, 560, 560, this is a big level. This goes at least back to 570 and then 580. Okay, so I'll be watching that 560 level on AMD today. Amazon, I took the short yesterday. This wound up being a really nice short. I mean, I only caught it for like 10%. The contracts just didn't move well. But you guys see my read was right? I said Amazon bearish, and now it's gapping down 2% today. Okay, it's gapping down right into demand though. 238, 239. This was my target for shorts under 244, and it's already there. Okay, so now I'm not watching Amazon today, but you guys see my read was correct on this. Google reported earnings gapping down. I'm not watching anything on Google, but this is obviously a bearish chart now, as long as we remain under these previous demand zones, right? We have demand here around 330. 330 was the low here from last couple Fridays ago, actually. And then we have this next area of supply up here, 342.50, which were the lows from back here last Friday. Meta lost support, 625, big level. We are under 625, okay? I would be careful touching longs as long as we are under 625. We reclaim can look for longs, but I'd be careful touching longs if we are under 625. Netflix did exactly what I said as well, right? We just popped. It didn't get all the way to 71. It got pretty close, 70.60. Popped into that and faded, right? I said pop and fade, pop and fade. You know, a lot of people are going to try to long over 70. However, this is still a bearish chart as long as we're under 71. 71, big level. We reclaim 71, it's a long. If we're under 71, this is bearish, okay? I would even draw the flag. Draw the flag on everything. Everything is a flag right now. If we lose these flags, everything's going to continue selling, okay? PLTR, I wish I would have taken this yesterday instead of Amazon because it moved way better, right? I remember on pre-market with Brett, I said below 129, this is a short. It lost 129, went all the way down to 123.50. I mean, this was just a beautiful short, okay? It's already back at demand though, so I'm not watching this anymore. Maybe pop and fade off at 129, maybe. Let's see how it opens, okay? This is a crazy trade. I wish I would have taken this instead of Amazon. I still made some money on Amazon, but not as much as I would have on Palantir. NVIDIA, obviously the strongest name yesterday, up 2.5%. Everything else was red. If NVIDIA reclaims 214, this is my big level. 1, 2, 3, big level on NVIDIA. I like this for longs only if we get over 214 today. Potentially you could look for a bounce off of 208, but let's see how the market opens. Let's see how NVIDIA opens, okay? And then Tesla reported earnings. This is down 6% in the pre-market. Remember Brett and I talked about this 370, okay? I don't think we're going to pop all the way to 370 today. That would erase this entire move, okay? But if we do, then that's where I'll be looking for shorts. Maybe it happens sometime next week. I don't know. But 370 is the pop and fade level on Tesla, all right? So let's see what happens today. It looks like market is trying to structure lower now. SPY and Qs are looking pretty weak here with the gap down. If we lose these structures, right, draw the flag for yourself and you guys can see flag, right, bear flag on really everything. If we lose these structures, then we can start to see lower on the market, start to see lower in individual names, and we can really get that selling started. Okay, let's see what happens today. I'll see you guys on live.